What's going on, everyone? Nick Filato with Big Blue View here to discuss one major factor that Mike Kafka employed against the Minnesota Vikings that helped lead the New York Giants to success. And that factor is the Giants' usage of 21 personnel, the pony package. Two running backs on the field consisting of Matt Breida and Saquon Barkley. The Giants ran this 20% of their snaps against the Minnesota Vikings. That is the most they used pony personnel on the season. Let's get to some of the key plays that the Giants hit out of that personnel package. 5 offensive plays into the game. Here is Saquon Barkley's 28-yard touchdown, and you can see we have Barkley in the backfield. Daniel Jones is under center, and then the wing back to the field side is Matt Breida. Now, as we see, Daniel Bellinger initially aligns to the field side. So the strength for the Giants is to the field side, but they're going to motion him in this direction, and they're going to set him up right here. What does that do to the defensive front, who's initially in an over front with the 3 technique on the outside shoulder of Nick Gates, and then they have a 2-eye on the inside shoulder of Mark Lewinsky. But the shift makes the strength to the boundary side for the run. So the front of the defense is going to shift in that direction, and that also puts a seed in the mind of the defenders that there could possibly be a run to the boundary. And the Giants drench that seed with water by using Matt Breida in a jet motion right before. And we can watch this play first, but I want to go over how the linebackers of the Minnesota Vikings reacted to Matt Breida's motion, as we'll see right here. Watch Eric Kendricks and Jordan Hicks. There goes Matt Breida. Matt Breida is going right into what looks like a mesh point behind Daniel Jones. No one can see the football on the Minnesota Vikings. You can see 8, and that's about it. So right at this moment, Jordan Hicks and Eric Kendricks are both going to go in this direction with a possible lead blocker if the play was being ran to the offensive right side. But that's not happening, right? It's just a halfback pitch pin pull concept that is blocked up magnificently by the New York Football Giants. And we can go over the blocking as well. But that deceptive factor by Mike Kafka removed 2 second-level defenders from the play side, isolating Jon Feliciano and Andrew Thomas on a bunch of secondary pieces. You got Duke Shelley, you got Chandon Sullivan, you got Cam Bynum. As long as Isaiah Hodgins can block down on DJ Wonnum well enough, this play is going to go for 6. And guess what? Isaiah Hodgins, excellent receiver so far for the New York Giants. He's also doing a phenomenal job as a blocker. And what I mean by the play side tackle kicking out into space, we could see this. This is just going to be a simple pin pull concept. You're going to have Isaiah Hodgins, pin number 98, kick out. Andrew Thomas, the center, is also going to kick out. And all you need is Nick Gates to block here. Mark Lewinsky is also going to climb up to the second level. And these 2 linebackers remove themselves from the play because of that pre-snap motion from Matt Breida and Daniel Bellinger. And then just look at Saquon Barkley. That is excellent patience. That is excellent vision from number 26 to set up these blocks because look, Jon Feliciano isn't quite the athlete of Andrew Thomas. You see how Andrew Thomas gets out and just kicks this guy out, eliminated, bye-bye. Saquon Barkley has to tempo his speed here and wait for Jon Feliciano to remove Sullivan because Isaiah Hodgins has now transitioned his block on DJ Wonnum, a player much bigger than him, to push Wonnum to the outside. So watch how Barkley just presses to the inside there. It's very subtle. You see how he's at the bottom of the numbers? And it looks like at this point he may be going inside of Feliciano. What does that do? That puts Cam Bynum in a position where he's going to set and stop moving his feet to the outside. And Barkley knows this, so he's just waiting for Feliciano to contact Sullivan, and then he's just going to squeeze right through. No Viking in sight. Excellently blocked up. Excellent execution, and a great, phenomenal, deceptive play call from Mike Kafka. And I also just want to highlight Andrew Thomas, baby, right there. We're all feeling that way, Andrew Thomas. We're all feeling that way. Giants score an early touchdown on their 5th offensive play of the game, and that's not the only time they're going to have that type of look. Because we'll see here a similar look, only Matt Breida is not the wingback. He is in a stack off the ass of Isaiah Hodgins, kind of towards the top of the numbers, so still a little bit inside. Darius Slayton is in a very reduced set, which is important to the success of this play. But the jet motion ran by Matt Breida. I don't know if it drastically changes this defense, but I love the fact that Mike Kafka kept showing this in 21 personnel. It came in handy on the 3rd and 1 that we'll go over a little bit later. Great individual effort on that play from Matt Breida, no doubt, but there is a blown coverage on this play. I don't know if it had anything to do with the pre-snap motion. All I do know is that this defense had quite a few blown coverages. It was probably one of the worst defenses that I watched this season. It's kind of crazy that they ended up winning as many games as they did. But we're going to see after that motion, Danielle Hunter is going to come off the stack. He is going to assume Saquon Barkley in the flat with Patrick Peterson taking the inside release of Isaiah Hodgins. It's just Harrison Smith turns towards Isaiah Hodgins as well, and nobody accounts for this backside horizontal cross from Darius Slayton. I'm not sure if he was supposed to be rerouted by Eric Kendricks or what exactly was supposed to happen. I'm imagining this is just a mishap on Harrison Smith, but I don't know the principles and the rules within this defense. But we do see Eric Kendricks get out really wide once he kind of flashes his eyes knowing Matt Breida is going out in this direction, but this DB is also over there. So you have three guys inside of this hash with Isaiah Hodgins about to create a massive collision because Harrison Smith is out of position to begin this play, as we see right there. Harrison Smith just takes out Isaiah Hodgins, forcing Patrick Peterson to fall on the ground, and that leads to a 47-yard gain by Darius Slayton. More so just a blown coverage, and you'll see this on the end zone angle. Darius Slayton was shocked at the fact that he was that wide open on this play. Again, blown coverage. But the release of Daniel Bellinger, that's going to suck up this linebacker. The flare out of Matt Breida, it's going to initially draw the attention of Eric Kendricks and also hold him in place to not work towards the middle of the field, just kind of drawing his attention towards Matt Breida. And then Harrison Smith making the one mistake apparently leads to this collision, leads to this really long catch. And we'll see it right here as well from the end zone angle. You're going to see Darius Slayton catch this football, look around, and be like, what now? He was shocked. Look at him just checking his peripheral vision in every direction before realizing, oh man, I really need to turn on my jets and accelerate. 47-yard gain. So far in pony personnel, the first play of the game, the Giants ran in pony personnel. It was a minimal gain. But then you have a 28-yard run for a touchdown to Saquon Barkley and a 47-yard completed pass to Darius Slayton. Success in 21 personnel so far. Here's the tail end of the 20-play drive by the New York Giants. Now we're in the second quarter, and it's a 1st and 9. All three of these plays that have been successful have come on first down, and the Giants go back to pony personnel with Saquon Barkley as the slot wide receiver and Matt Breida in a pistol formation. Giants have not used all that much pistol this year, and this is one of the more creative play calls that we've seen all season. You get this 2x2 set, Darius Slayton reduced on the hash with Daniel Bellinger as the H-back sniffer, whatever you want to call him. Isaiah Hodgins is outside the numbers to the field side with Saquon Barkley at the top of the numbers. The Giants are going to use Saquon Barkley in orbit motion as eye candy, and I think this is played pretty well by the Minnesota Vikings because it is that Statue of Liberty play where the Giants attempt to sell the fact that they're throwing a flare to the boundary with Isaiah Hodgins blocking to Saquon, but not many of these second-level defenders reacted in the manner that the Giants wanted them to. Harrison Smith does. His responsibility is Saquon Barkley, but you could see Daniel Jones just handing the football behind his back. Wild ball handling skills from Daniel Jones, but a creative play nonetheless in the red zone. And I like the fact that Mike Kafka is calling this play in the red zone, keeping the defense on its toes. It wasn't the desired outlook from the New York Giants. I'm sure they would have liked to score a touchdown here, but you look at the defensive front. You have this 2-eye technique. You have Harrison Phillips, the 3 technique. It's an over type of front with Daniel Bellinger as the strong side. So this is going to allow, as long as Mark Lewinsky can get outside of Dalvin Tomlinson and make that block, John Feliciano to climb up to Eric Kendricks. And then you can have a nice block, a nice blocking angle from Ben Bredeson on Harrison Phillips. So you get that deception. Look at that by Daniel Jones, first off, actually. He's so deceptive with that. And now you have John Feliciano climbed up with Daniel Bellinger trying to go get this player right here. So theoretically, if Jordan Hicks fell for the Saquon Barkley fake, then you're going to have Cam Bynum in the alley against Matt Breida as long as all of these players hold their blocks up. But Jordan Hicks does a really good job kind of seeing what's going on and then getting over to Matt Breida. There is some rushing room, but not enough. Breida is tackled. Still love the play design and the play call. An excellent execution from Daniel Jones. Kafka reaches back into that bag of tricks in the red zone on a 1st and 10 play. Nickel personnel once again from the Minnesota Vikings. And we have Daniel Bellinger as the H-back. Matt Breida's back as the wing-back and single back with Saquon Barkley in the backfield. Darius Slayton at the top of the numbers to the boundary side with Isaiah Hodgins in a reduced split. That's important because this is going to be the end around play. You have the jet motion once again. You fake the handoff to Saquon Barkley. So there's a lot of eye movement from the Minnesota Vikings. And I think this goes for 6 if the end man on the line of scrimmage, DJ Wonnum, doesn't play this so well. He read it the entire time. And I think that's one reason why Darius Slayton does not score. Because the Giants do an excellent job bringing Matt Breida as that jet motion. Daniel Jones hikes it. Nobody really falls too much for Matt Breida. But then he goes and puts that football out there so all of these eyes can see. It's going to Saquon Barkley. We need to flow in this direction to stop Saquon Barkley. Maintain some gap discipline over here, but we're not even paying attention to Darius Slayton. But Daniel Jones is so crafty with faking these handoffs. You can see how he just tucks it right into his groin, ball to ball, and then he just flips it to Darius Slayton. And you can see Isaiah Hodgins on this cornerback. Daniel Bellinger is going to kick out this defensive back, and if DJ Wonnum wasn't tracking on this, this is probably a touchdown because DJ Wonnum does such a good job boxing Darius Slayton inside by getting out here. He reads exactly what's going on. You can see how he cuts off that angle, and now Darius Slayton needs to go this way. We have all of these rallying teammates that can go and get him. But say DJ Wonnum doesn't read it as well, which is a plausible outcome. It's well disguised. Then you're going to have Daniel Bellinger and Isaiah Hodgins against these two, and it's going to be on Darius Slayton to outrun Cam Bynum to the end zone. Say he does this, he probably just takes this type of path with Daniel Bellinger delivering a nice block, but that's not what happened. Still, it's about a 5-yard gain from Darius Slayton, but I love the creativity. I love that it's a similar look that the Giants showed out of pony personnel, but they're running something different off it. Keep the defense on their toes, and that's something Mike Kafka has done this entire season. And here we're just going to see it from the end zone angle. You can see Breida, jet sweep, fake the handoff, ball to ball, and Darius Slayton has to cut it back in this direction because DJ Wonnum does such a good job containing him. Good play by Wonnum. Still appreciate the play call. And now we're going to have an important 2nd and 5 in the third quarter where the Giants are going to run a wing back power. So it's going to be an underneath handoff to Matt Breida. We can see it right here with the motion from Daniel Bellinger. Just more eye candy. And I think this play could have gone for more if Za'Darius Smith doesn't read it so damn well. Because you can see you're going to have Daniel Bellinger to the field side. He is going to motion pre-snap. So you're not getting motion from Matt Breida, the wing back, or Saquon Barkley like we saw on other plays in this personnel package. It's Daniel Bellinger. And then you're just going to pull the backside guard, kind of like a G lead, right? Pull the backside guard and the backside tackles. This is like a GT handoff to the wing back underneath. You fake the halfback pitch to Saquon Barkley. You can see there's going to be eyes going in that direction. You have Daniel Bellinger as the lead blocker, something the Giants use quite often. And then Daniel Jones is just going to hand the football off to Matt Breida right underneath. Very well-designed play to get a lot of blockers from the backside to the front side of the play. And you can see Danielle Hunter is going to get kicked out by Nick Gates. And Nick Gates, he loves violence. And Nick Gates delivers a nice low blow to kick out Danielle Hunter. But it's Za'Darius Smith who really blows this play up. Because you can see Za'Darius Smith sees that fake pitch, and he stops right when Matt Breida is getting the football placed into his stomach, and he reads it, and there's no one to account for Za'Darius Smith on this play. It's part of the blocking design when you pull two offensive linemen from this side of the formation. And the Giants are just going to block down the rest of the Vikings defense, work up to the second level. As you can see, Eric Kendricks is removed from the play again. Darius Slayton doesn't do the best job blocking his assignment, but if Za'Darius Smith doesn't read this, it's Andrew Thomas probably taking Harrison Phillips and then Duke Shelley against Matt Breida, with Cam Bynum coming down. It only goes for, I believe, 4 yards, but still a well-designed play that is going to keep the defense on their toes. It's just well read by the Minnesota Vikings on this one. But you can see how Kafka is sequencing these plays and giving those similar looks to plant that seed in the mind of the defensive coordinator and these defensive players. And that's why you get so many players at the second level running in one direction, running away from the play because of these fakes and because of the use of jet motion on previous plays. And this is going to set up a 3rd and 1. This is the next play, and it's not 21 personnel, but it's 22 personnel. So instead of a wide receiver being out there, the Giants bring in an extra tight end. It's 3rd and short. That's not a surprise, and the Giants align in a double Y set. One of those tight ends is Lawrence Cager, and then you have a reduced stack over here with Isaiah Hodgins and Matt Breida. And what have the Giants run all game? Jet motion, right? Ran that jet motion and they've yet to run the jet sweep. Well, here it is on a 3rd and 1. But the Vikings read it so well. So they didn't necessarily succeed, the Giants, from a deception standpoint, but holy crap, is this a great individual effort from 31. You could see that the Vikings are communicating this. You have both of the tight ends to this side. It's the field side. You have the wingback who has been running that jet motion the entire game in single back. And you can see Harrison Smith pointing. Kendricks pointing. Everybody's going to flow to the outside. At this point, before Matt Breida gets to the hash, you have 3 guys outside with Eric Kendricks having a beat on him. And Breida just gets to the outside and is able to make Kendricks miss and then cut it back inside and run through Danielle Hunter's tackle attempt. Also falling forward through Harrison Smith's tackle attempt. This was a phenomenal individual effort from Matt Breida. And the Giants, unfortunately, did not score on this drive. They punted a little bit later. But if they actually scored and it was a difference-making score, this play might have been one of the critical plays of the season for the Giants. A microcosm of this entire team, just showing resilience. And even when you're counted out, when you're down and everybody's counting you out, you can still succeed. And that's what Matt Breida showed on this play. He picked up only a couple here. He only needed 1 yard, but he was dead to rights in the backfield. Great job, Matt Breida. And there are some creative and ingenious ways on how Mike Kafka was able to employ his 21 pony personnel package against the Minnesota Vikings to success. Look, the New York Giants ranked dead last in 2022 in creating explosive plays on offense. In the first 2 drives, they had a 28-yard touchdown run and a 47-yard pass to Darius Slayton, both out of pony personnel. I expect this to also be utilized against the Philadelphia Eagles with Matt Breida and Saquon Barkley on the field. Maybe we'll see a little Gary Brightwell. I'm not 100% certain, but it should be an interesting game on Saturday night against those Philadelphia Eagles. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to this video. I am Nick Falato. Please, if you have not done so yet, head on over to bigblueview.com and check out all of our written content. We cover the Giants year-round. We're doing some good work, I think, so hopefully you would appreciate that. Thanks, everyone, and have a lovely one.